You wake up, your skin feels greasy and gross. You grab soap without even thinking twice. But someone had to invent this thing. 5,000 years ago, nobody had soap yet. People lived caked in sweat, oil, and dirt. Smell was just part of daily life. Now picture Egypt. Desert heat, no mercy. Temperatures over 40 degrees Celsius every single day. Sweat mixed with sand, mixed with oil. Skin cracked, itched, and sometimes got infected. This wasn't just uncomfortable, it was dangerous. Skin infections could actually kill you back then, so Egyptians needed a solution, and fast. The answer started in the kitchen, oddly enough. Someone noticed something strange happening near cook fires. Animal fat dripped into ash. Something changed. That mixture felt slippery, almost soapy somehow. It cut through grease like nothing else. Dirty pots suddenly became spotless in seconds. Word spread fast. This stuff actually worked.
Here's the science nobody in Egypt understood yet. Animal fat plus ash creates a chemical reaction. Fat contains oils. Ash contains alkaline salts. Together, they form something new entirely, soap. One end grabs oil, the other grabs water. That's the whole trick behind washing anything clean. But Egyptians didn't know chemistry. They knew results. And results made this stuff incredibly valuable, fast. Priests were the first real customers here. Temples demanded purity before every single ritual. A greasy priest couldn't approach the gods. Egyptian priests shaved their entire bodies daily. Some bathed 4 times a day, minimum. This soapy paste became part of that ritual. So temples started making it in bulk. Big vats of fat, ash, and water. They experimented with different oils and fats. Castor oil turned out to work wonders. Olive oil arrived later through Mediterranean trade routes. Different fats made different textures and results.
Someone started keeping track of the ratios. Too much ash burned the skin badly. Too little did almost nothing at all. Getting the balance right took real trial. Years of failed batches probably got tossed out. Nobody wrote Eureka, they just kept adjusting. Around 1550 BC, something got written down. The Ebers Papyrus, one of Egypt's oldest medical texts. It mentioned combining oils with alkaline salts. Doctors used this paste to treat skin diseases. Not for cleanliness first, for medicine first. Cleanliness came second. Healing came first here. Physicians prescribed washes for wounds and rashes. Even soldiers got treated with this mixture. Infected wounds healed faster when kept clean. Doctors noticed the pattern without understanding germs. They didn't know bacteria existed at all. That knowledge was 3,000 years away still. But results mattered more than explanations then. So this soapy paste kept spreading anyway. Merchants carried it along the Nile River. Villages downstream started requesting their own supply. Demand grew faster than anyone expected, honestly. Soon, it wasn't just priests buying this. Regular families wanted it for their homes. Mothers used it scrubbing children by the river. Washing linen became dramatically easier and faster. Clothes came out visibly whiter than before. People noticed. Appearance started carrying real status. Clean clothes meant wealth. Dirty clothes meant poverty. Suddenly, hygiene became a class symbol too. The wealthy bought more, used it constantly. Some built entire bathing rooms around this. Servants prepared oils, ash mixtures, and perfumes. People started adding scent to the mixture. Lotus, myrrh, and frankincense joined the recipe. Now it smelled good, not just worked well. This is where soap and perfume overlapped. Egyptian elites obsessed over scent and appearance. Feasts required guests looking and smelling flawless. Showing up dirty could actually insult your host. Hygiene had become social currency by now. Vendors specialized entirely in selling these mixtures. This was becoming its own real industry. Recipes got passed down like trade secrets. Families guarded their exact ratios carefully. A good formula meant guaranteed customers forever. Competition between soap makers got genuinely fierce. Some claimed their mixture cured more ailments. Exaggeration was already a marketing tool then. Not every claim turned out to be true. Real doctors sometimes rolled their eyes hard. Meanwhile, temples kept refining the actual formula. They tested it on cloth, skin, and metal. Even bronze tools got scrubbed with this. Grease and grime came off metal too. Craftsmen started using it in their workshops. Cleaner tools meant better, more precise work. Sculptors kept their chisels spotless this way. Even pyramid workers used it after meals. Bread and beer left grease on hands.
Clean hands meant a better tool grip. On a pyramid, grip could mean survival. One slip could crush someone instantly there. So, overseers actually encouraged this habit strongly. Small washing stations appeared near construction sites. Thousands of workers built Giza over decades. Keeping them healthy meant keeping them working. A sick workforce slowed everything down badly. Hygiene wasn't kindness, it was pure efficiency. Pharaohs cared about results, not workers' comfort. Advisors likely pushed cleanliness for practical reasons. Some rules probably became official royal policy eventually. Certain temples required clean hands before entering. Guards actually turned away visibly dirty visitors. So people learned to wash before showing up. Festivals became a big cleanliness occasion too. Everyone wanted to look their absolute best. Vendors sold special batches just for festivals. Some jars got decorated like little gifts. People started gifting soap to each other. It became a genuinely popular present option. Weddings sometimes included these jars as gifts. A clean start to married life, literally.
Traders eventually carried it beyond Egypt's borders. Nubia and the Levant received shipments regularly. Foreign merchants got curious about this product. They tried it. They were genuinely impressed. Some negotiated exclusive trading deals on it. Ships carried jars across the Mediterranean Sea. Other civilizations took notice of this innovation. Greek traders reportedly encountered it centuries later. Some historians think Greek hygiene practices borrowed ideas. We can't prove a direct line perfectly, though. History rarely hands us a clean paper trail. Archaeologists piece together clues from scattered fragments. Every jar found adds another piece somehow. Some museums actually display residue from these jars. Scientists analyze that residue using modern chemistry. The fatty acid signatures matched soap-like compounds. This confirmed what historians long suspected already. Egypt genuinely started something that never stopped. 5,000 years later, the idea survived completely.
Egypt wasn't completely alone in this discovery. Babylonian tablets from 2800 BC mention similar mixtures. Fat boiled with ash, almost the same idea. Different civilizations stumbled onto the same chemistry. Nobody copied anybody. The reaction is universal. Fire, fat, and ash exist almost everywhere. Given enough time, someone always finds it. But Egypt refined theirs into an actual craft. Generations tweaked the recipe until it excelled. By 1200 BC, workshops ran like small factories. Different workers handled different steps entirely. Quality control existed, even in the ancient world. Bad batches got tossed without much hesitation. Good batches got marked and sent to market. Customers began recognizing specific workshop stamps too. Brand loyalty existed 3,000 years ago already. People had favorite soap makers, just like today.
Centuries rolled on. Empires rose and fell. Persians conquered Egypt, encountered the same recipes. They carried it further east through their empire. Later, Romans got their hands on it too. Roman bathhouses became famous, partly because of this, though Romans actually preferred scraping oil off skin. A curved metal tool called a strigil. Two different solutions to the same problem. Legend claims the word soap traces to Mount Sapo. Fat and ash supposedly washed into a river there. Women noticed clothes came out cleaner downstream. Most historians actually doubt that story today. It sounds neat. Evidence for it is thin. The real chain runs through Egypt and Mesopotamia. Then Rome fell. Europe changed dramatically after. Bathing culture actually declined in medieval Europe. Religious attitudes made public bathing seem sinful. Nakedness, even for washing, felt shameful suddenly. Cities grew filthy. Disease spread far easier. The Black Death would exploit exactly this later. Soap making didn't vanish though. Monasteries kept it alive. Monks preserved recipes almost like sacred knowledge. Olive oil soap became a monastic specialty eventually. Meanwhile, Aleppo in Syria perfected its own version. Laurel oil and olive oil, a legendary combination. Bars got stamped, dried for months, then shipped. Crusaders later encountered these bars in the Levant. They'd honestly never seen anything quite like it. Some carried bars home as prized souvenirs. Slowly, real soap crept back into Europe. Marseille and Castile became new soap-making centers. Castile soap used only pure olive oil. It became a luxury item for European nobility. Ordinary people used rougher, cheaper alternatives instead.
The gap between rich and poor stayed clear. Centuries later, chemistry finally caught up completely. In 1791, Nicolas Leblanc found a cheaper method. He converted ordinary salt into soda ash. Suddenly, soap didn't need burned wood ash anymore. Production could scale up far beyond anything before. The Industrial Revolution turned soap into mass production. William Lever built an empire on this idea. His Sunlight soap became a household name everywhere. He even built an entire town for workers, Port Sunlight, named proudly after his product. Advertising turned soap into a genuine cultural obsession. Cleanliness got marketed as basically moral virtue. Dirty hands suddenly implied a dirty character. Society judged people harshly by their hygiene. Then, Louis Pasteur changed everything completely again. Germ theory proved invisible organisms cause disease.
Suddenly, washing hands meant literally saving lives. Hospitals adopted strict hand-washing rules almost overnight. Semmelweis had argued this decades earlier, ignored completely. Colleagues mocked him. He died before being proven right. History eventually vindicated him, tragically, too late. Soap kept evolving through the 20th century onward. Synthetic detergents emerged during the World War era. Animal fat wasn't always available during wartime shortages. Chemists engineered alternatives that didn't need fat. By the 1950s, shelves overflowed with countless options. Every brand promised softer skin, better scent. Liquid soap eventually challenged the classic bar entirely. Pumps felt cleaner, more convenient, less messy. Hotels still handed out tiny individual bars though. Some people genuinely collected these as souvenirs. Then, in 2020, hand washing became a global obsession. 20 seconds became a worldwide memorized number. Store shelves emptied of soap within days. People suddenly valued something they'd ignored forever. 5,000 years. Same basic chemical reaction. Fat and alkali. Grabbing dirt, releasing it. Modern labs perfected ratios ancient cooks stumbled onto. The kitchen accident became precise global science eventually. Every improvement built on that first messy discovery. Nobody in Egypt got credit or a patent. We don't even know a single name involved. Just an anonymous cook noticing something odd happen. Today, you grab soap without a single thought. It sits there, boring, completely taken for granted. But it once separated survival from painful death. Egyptian doctors treated wounds using exactly this idea. Modern surgeons still rely on that same principle. One continuous thread, 5,000 years long. Maybe that bar deserves a little more respect. It started as fat dripping into cooking ash, a cook's accident, a priest's ritual need, a doctor's careful notes on dyeing papyrus. Each person passed the idea slightly forward. None of them saw where it would end. None of them needed to see that far. They just wanted clean skin under a brutal sun. That simple need built something that outlived empires. Next time you wash your hands, remember that.